Welcome to Food Travelers. In this episode, we are in Cambodia, the Kingdom of Wonder, and we're actually hitting up an Italian spot over in Cannondale, which is kind of on the north side of Phnom Penh, which is the capital. And we're going to have some Italian that kind of has some connections back to Seattle, Micah, because the guy who opened up this shop is actually from Seattle as well.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting when you mentioned you wanted to try this restaurant. I was kind of curious why we wanted to get Italian food in Cambodia rather than something more local, I would say. But looking at the chef's history about how he came out from Seattle, he also lived in San Francisco and Italy, and I thought it was pretty interesting to see that combination and how he made it into Cambodia. So a little bit more information about the restaurant. They are open daily from 10:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And they are also located at the Clallandale Mall.
Yeah, Micah, it is a mall, like as I mentioned, up north. And kind of what I wanted to, when I was doing some research looking into it, I kind of wanted to support this restaurant because he's Thmey, and at the same time, he was also from Seattle, so I thought, why not, go visit this place. But in addition to that, it's also because he does make the noodles house-made, and so they make them in-house, and so I wanted to give it a try and give it a shot, and I wasn't upset that we did because I really did enjoy the food.
Yeah, the food was definitely pretty good. I did appreciate that everything was house-made, like Simon said. Another thing I wanted to mention is when I was looking through their social media account, they have many specials with like golden hour pasta and flatbreads. They also have surf and turf days, and some days they even offer like a buy three get one free type of deal.
Yeah, and kind of to add on to some information, their pricing is actually on the higher end of Cambodia, and of course, it makes sense because the food, it's imported or in a way, and so of course the prices are going to be a little higher. It's Western stuff. It's not as prevalent in Cambodia as the United States has. But definitely one of the things I really enjoyed is the ingredients. You could definitely tell how fresh it was.
Yeah, moving along to the first dish that we had here, it is the pork and beef meatballs. We also, for appetizer, we had the fried oysters that was dusted with horseradish aioli. And with the beef and pork meatballs, it was stewed in tomato sauce and basil, served with the house-made Phsar bread. I thought that was pretty good. It had a good combo to it. I really think the pork adds more moisture and fattiness, and the beef contributes more for like the depth of the flavor. So overall, it's like a really good combo, and that bread definitely helps soak up all that sauce too.
Yeah, I thought their sauce was great. It's a red sauce, tomato based, of course, and it was really nice. It had really great flavors. It kind of, you can sense the freshness. Like, it just wasn't something, it didn't come from a can. It didn't come from something that's kind of been sitting there. It was freshly made, and you could really taste that flavor. The oysters were nice. Kind of your typical oysters, I would say, going around to a kind of a normal cafe or restaurant that offers fried oysters. Just kind of your typical kind of run-of-the-mill oysters you can get fried meal, but it was good.
But even though it's your typical oyster, Simon, I still feel like they were pretty good, where they didn't taste like they were frozen by any means. I mean, everything tasted like they were freshly made.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm pretty sure that they were fresh. I can't verify exactly, but definitely they were fresh. They weren't something that, just kind of stuck in the freezer or the refrigerator for a long time. They were from that day. But kind of going on to the entrees, for me, I actually had the potato gnocchi, and those were hand-rolled potato gnocchis with the beef and pork bolognese sauce. It also was topped with Parmesan cheese and fresh herbs.
So for my dish, I had the spaghetti carbonara. Before making that decision, I was actually looking at the menu, and they actually offer two different types of carbonaras. They had a traditional carbonara, and then they had the Khmer style, where it replaces the pork belly with ham instead, and there will also be no egg. I was contemplating on that for a long time, but I really wanted the pork belly, and I wanted that egg yolk rather than trying the Khmer style.
I think we ended up getting the Khmer style because it had the egg on top, right?
No, the Khmer style would have no egg, and it would be ham.
Was there ham? I didn't remember seeing any ham.
No, it was
looked like,
pork
kinda like
belly.
sausage.
It was pork belly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why we got that one.
My memory is not serving me correctly, but yeah, it was different. It was nice to see the egg in it, and that actually added a little bit of creaminess, a little more than what it was. And so I enjoyed that. And of course, you saw earlier we broke up the egg and mixed it in with the pasta.
Yeah, another thing I find it kind of different from a lot of like more, I guess, Western or American style restaurants where they usually come by and ask you, oh, do you want to add more fresh peppers to it or add more grated cheese? I guess that's more of an American thing. What do you think, Simon?
Yeah, if you go to like a Olive Garden or something, somebody will walk by and have that big pepper grinder with them and ask if you want more pepper. In this case, there wasn't an offer of pepper. I believe there's pepper shaker on the table, so if you actually did want extra pepper, you could use that to put it onto it. But in terms of freshly ground, it wasn't available, which is kind of unfortunate because one of the things that Cambodia is pretty popular with is their Kampot pepper, which is absolutely delicious. And so maybe if they actually would have offered putting on some of that Kampot pepper onto the pasta, that would add like that extra dimension of flavor that would be pretty amazing, I think.
Yeah, I agree, Simon. I think that is something that they were missing. Hopefully, maybe if they see this video, they'll offer that in the future. But with that potato gnocchi, I thought that was really good. It was like cloudy, airy, fluffy, pillow-like texture, and a lot of times when I had gnocchi in the past, sometimes it's like overcooked and it's just like really tough and not, like, I guess, chewy.
Yeah, it kind of gets a little bit on the rubbery side if you overdo it and you don't make it quite right. That pillowy texture and lightness of it kind of goes away. But overall, this is a really great restaurant, and although it's a higher price, of course, Cambodia versus America is definitely a lot less expensive. Definitely, if you're Phnom Penh, try Pacific Pasta Company. A great place to support both somebody from the US and somebody who's also from Cambodia. A great way to support both sides. And to wrap up the episode are our notables. And unfortunately for this episode, we did not have any notables.
And to support our channel, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the YouTube algorithm. And for more photos, follow us on Instagram. See you guys on the next episode.